Hi everyone, Sabrina Woodworth with Work Lessons 101, and this is episode 9 of the journey. So this video is going to be executing phase 1 of Work Lessons 101. The purpose of the video is to summarize everything that's occurred in the last 14 weeks while I've been executing phase 1 of the Work Lessons 101 plan. So I want to summarize a few things in this video so the learning can go to the audience. The biggest one is to summarize the growth of both our Instagram account and LinkedIn account, discuss some of our methods that we grew our audience and some of the lessons learned and the takeaways from that. So the goal of phase 1 was growth, to build an audience. So I posted 15 times a week, roughly. Some weeks I did 18 times, I kind of played it, but always a minimum of 15 times. 12 work lessons, introducing a weekly theme, writing a weekly blog, and always posting a weekly video, whether it was an episode of The Journey or an episode of our Work Lessons 101 Q&A show, where people write into us work-related questions, and we address them on video and share them. So that was essentially the main growth. So the main purpose of Work Lessons 101 is to create a community where we share work lessons to young aspiring professionals. So, they don't go into the corporate environment and make some rookie mistakes, some classic blunders. We're here to help you and to help avoid these situations. That is the main purpose of everything we're doing here. Work Lessons 101 is a book. It's titled Work Lessons 101, What They Don't Teach in School. So a lot of the content that I've been sharing online is from the book and themes within the book. So part of phase 1 was to gauge the content with the audience and see how much they enjoy the content. It's been massively confident, it's built my confidence completely. I've gotten great feedback on what worked, what didn't. So now that we're finalizing the first 3 months of posting online, I'm going to take a lot of this knowledge, and now for phase 2 we're going to concentrate on pure engagement. So I'm going to be posting less. I'm going to be posting now 10 times a week instead of 15. And then I'm going to utilize that extra time to refocus on my book and get the final version edited and ready for publication in the new year. That is the main goal. So yeah, in December, January, I'm going to start to try to talk to literary agents and get my book published through a major publisher if I can. If not, I'll self-publish. And that's the whole point of creating my growth with my audience and engaging with my audience, is that I can self-publish and then hopefully have it, to some form of success with that approach. That's been the main goal of everything I've done up to now. So as I said, this video is kind of going to summarize. So the next clip I'll go into the growth, because we started from pretty much ground zero, discuss how we've grown and what approaches. Then I'll talk about some of the technology that I've used to build my business. So, if people out there want to do the same thing, they can kind of understand how we did that with minimal cost. And then I'll end the video with just some of the big lesson learns and the takeaways, and what I recommend to avoid and what I recommend doing. Stay tuned. All right, so let's discuss growth of Work Lessons 101. We started back in April of 2019 with absolutely nothing but a book. So I had all the content in a written format of a book, but nothing else. So where do you go from there? So the first thing we needed to do was choose what social media platforms to use. The main demographic, I feel, of the book at the time was between 18 and 25 years of age. Now that we've gone through the whole growth phase, I actually know my demographics quite a bit older than that. It's probably more from 24 to 35 years of age, or 20 to 35 years of age. There are a few young students that are highly involved in the content online. But I'd say that the main demographics between that 24 and 35 years age bracket. So that was one of the things we learned with some of the analytic programs that I use on the social media platform. So the biggest reason when I thought it was 18 to 25, I was like, I need to be on Instagram, because that is primarily where the younger millennials and the Gen Zs are on. A lot of them aren't on LinkedIn. Obviously, I want to be on LinkedIn because it's a professional platform. So my whole concept is get the audience on Instagram, and as they mature into their careers and finish school, they'll move onto LinkedIn. So engage the future demographic, current demographic with LinkedIn, and then merge them together. That is the whole purpose of the growth of the company. And it's worked out really well. I obviously have a YouTube account as well as Twitter and Facebook, which I haven't spent much time on. My main purpose was Instagram and LinkedIn. So let's turn the screen over and I'll share my screen and we'll walk through some of the growth and lessons we've gone through. So let's discuss growth. So when I first started in April, I had nothing. The very first thing that I needed to work on was my website. So that is what's on the screen right now. This is worklessons101.com. This is my hub. This is where all my content is saved, as well as you can see right on the top left here, all my social medias. As I've said in the last clip, our primary focus was Instagram and LinkedIn, these two. I will eventually grow my YouTube following and do more posting of videos, but that's kind of something to come in the new year. So let's just concentrate on the website. I use GoDaddy. I bought my domain names a year ago. I will keep them always. They Work Lessons 101 is trademark protected now, as well as copyright. So this is kind of my business, and as you go through each website, you can see it. So my home is just a welcome, picture of my name, the book, my experience, a little bit of everything we are going to offer. The book and courses will be coming in the new year. And if anybody wants to know, so I needed to create an intro. So I created an intro video that talks about our vision and mission statements and everything moving forward. Work Lessons is where all the Instagram and LinkedIn content saves. So these are what I post daily. So I have posted every single day for the last 3 months straight. This video marks our 3-month anniversary. This is where all the blogs are saved. I write one every Tuesday morning, and this is where all our videos are saved. So of course you can go to our social media accounts to check that. So phase 1 was build that website. Then phase 2 was let's take a look. So this is kind of just to give you an idea. So we want to edit the site. You can, it's just a template. You can, put everything in. You can see on the right hand side, you just pick it, right? If you want to go to Work Lessons, and add some video, add the graphics. It's just that. It's just plug and play. It's really simple. It didn't take me very long to learn. So if we go to our Instagram account first, as you can see, I have 204 posts, over 4,500 followers. So we started at absolutely zero. And we've grown. So, I like to get this up to over 10K in the first year. But as I said, phase 2 is more about getting engagement, getting more comments, getting more likes. So some of the growth, I just posted this one today. So if we go a little further down, you can see I got 193 likes on this. So if you go all the way down to the bottom, which I won't scroll, we were getting about 20 likes per post. Now we're getting consistently over 100 likes per post within 3 months. I'm still not getting a ton of comments. I don't find Instagram very intriguing on the comments. It's very much a like site, I find, whereas LinkedIn is far more based on comments. We'll talk about how I've grown this and what I've learned in a later clip, but basically, primarily, you need to be on these platforms every single day. You need to post strong content and post every single day. Like LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn. So I have about 44,000 profile views. Before I started engaging in content online, I had about 300. So this is a 90-day period. So since we started posting content, it's over 10 times. That's my post that I post 3 hours ago. It has about 1,000 views on it. So I'm getting approximately, if you want to see here, move this into the screen. This is my growth on LinkedIn. So these are my 15 posts I send a week. This is week 9 to week 13. You can start to see some of the averages here, right? So I'm getting about 90 likes per post, about 30 comments per post, and about 1,700 views. So I've had some weeks better than others. My week 10, which was overcoming obstacles and creating opportunities, probably had my best turnout with nearly 3,000 views and 108 likes, right? But I'm getting somewhere between anywhere on averaging over 100 likes now, you can see, right? And I'm getting anywhere over 25 comments per post now. If you come up here, this was my week 2. I was getting around 11 11 likes per post and 2 to 3 comments per post and under 1,000 views. Now I don't get any posts under 1,000 views. So you can really see the growth engaging every single day just from the 7-month growth. So I just wanted to kind of roughly look at that. And if you look at my YouTube, which I'm pretty proud of, my goal is to have 40 videos by the end of the year. Right now I have 21. I think this is going to be my 21st video I post. So it's coming along. The growth is there. So the biggest thing to summarize the growth of Work Lessons 101 in the first 3 months of posting content is our Instagram went from 0 to over 4,500 followers. It went from about 20 likes per post to consistently over 100. I've had a few posts go over 1,000. I have a rather large following in India, so sometimes they're just massively engaged, and they have made some of my posts very successful. I've also, on LinkedIn, I went from I had 1,470 followers, and then I am now at over 4,700 followers. And as I said, I have over 100 likes per post on average and about 30 comments, 25 to 30 comments per post on average. I'm getting about 30,000 views a week on my LinkedIn. So I'm getting over 120 to 150,000 views a month on LinkedIn. Impressions and stuff like that on Instagram work very, very different, but I'm getting, some posts get over 50,000 impressions, 60,000 impressions. So Instagram and LinkedIn have grown. So I consider phase 1 successful. My YouTube is starting to I have 8 subscribers on my YouTube, so that's definitely something to work in the new year and grow. As I start to do more courses, I'm obviously going to give away some free courses online, so I'll be using my YouTube for that, potentially even moving into a podcast sometime in a year from now, so I'll obviously be using my YouTube for that. So my next growth phase, once I do target more social media platforms, YouTube will be my next goal. Another unique thing that happened with sharing content and engaging with the audience is I've done some collaborations. So the first one was with Millennial Grind. It's a Toronto-based startup company that interviewed me, and that was featured a few weeks back. That was featured in September. And then this coming week, I did a guest blog on the 3 biggest tips I wish I knew at the start of my career, and that's going to be published this week. It's with Upkey. It's a Chicago-based startup that focuses on helping new grads get their first position. So, I see that more collaboration in the future. I do have a steady group on LinkedIn that I talk to daily. I get DMs now every day with people with career advice. My Q&A show is going to have more episodes coming up in phase 2 as I start to truly engage. I see that as part of phase 2 where I really engage my audience. I discuss, I go out and comment a lot more on their content, help them develop their content and really build that community. That is primarily my goal for the engagement of phase 2, along with finalizing my book and trying to get it published. So that is to summarize the growth. So let's move into the technologies that I used to develop my company. Last clip, I use GoDaddy. I have multiple domains, but my primary domain is worklessons101.com. This is my hub. This is where all my content saves. So I developed this back in April and launched it first week of May of 2019, just before I had my baby boy. So I'm glad I got this. As I said, it's my intro, my story, my background, my work lessons, the ones I post daily, all my blogs I've written, all the videos I've posted, a bit of background on my book. so people can understand the different themes and understand the whole concept of the book and some of the main courses I'm going to send. So I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's, WordPress is probably something that has a little bit more versatility than GoDaddy, but GoDaddy gave me a 30-day trial, so I just started playing with it. I could get all my color schemes on it, and it just really simply worked. This is my logo. At the top of the page, it's on every single one of the work lessons I post. As you can see, it's trademarked. This is kind of the symbol of my company. It's on all my social media platforms as well. So when I first started, I didn't have anything. So that's my website, that's my logo. I actually built my logo on Adobe Spark, but I use Canva now. So kind of give you an idea of how I do it. So you just you can upload an image. There are paid softwares for this that are far more versatile. I just use the free because, I designed all my logos, my W, and then my classroom, which is just a stock photo of the W. My husband, as a photographer, took it. I have my blue, and then I've moved into having an orange from my red logo. So I've made these all from scratch. So I did this obviously before I launched my Instagram and LinkedIn accounts. So I picked my lessons, I put it in a beautiful little quote, my Instagram, right? And the same thing. So I just have these little themes and I just do it one by one. So this is going forward, this is my 15 week, but now I'm just going to have 9. So I just open these up, delete the old theme, put the new one in. 1 week's a blue, 1 week is an orange. I do this essentially to split up my themes week per week so the audience can really see it. As you can see, there's the split, right? This took a long time. I had a lot of test audiences. They gave me a ton of feedback. And this is kind of where I'm going, and this is where I'm going to continue to go forward. The biggest change from my episode 8 to episode 9 is I was using Hootsuite, but I actually moved and paid for Buffer. Buffer I find super easy to work with when you have multiple social media accounts. So these are my social medias. Later I used for a while, but it doesn't use LinkedIn, so I couldn't do it. So why I prefer Buffer, as you can see on the screen. So I just want to post to Instagram. You write a post, bring in your image, and then you say, I want to put the same post on Facebook. There it is. You can add, if you put an image in on your Instagram, it will copy right over to that. And the same thing here. But the great thing with Buffer versus Hootsuite is you can now edit without interfering with your Instagram and your Facebook. So there's different word counts, like the hashtags you use, and you only want to have about 5 hashtags on LinkedIn, and then 30 hashtags on Instagram to be able to truly, kind of use what you need. So if we just go back to my LinkedIn site and say, hey, maybe take a quick view. So this is this is posted right off of Buffer right into here, right? Boom. As you can see from my Instagram's a square, LinkedIn is a rectangle. Again, Buffer allows you to put different images, into it, but you have the content remains the same, and then obviously Twitter, so you can edit it, and then you'll just schedule it all at the same time. This saved over an hour to 2 hours a week of pre-programming my stuff. So Buffer was the way to go. The analytics on Buffer are subpar, not very great. Hootsuite is better, but going forward, I will continue to use Buffer. Anyways, DM me if you have any questions on the technologies that I'm using for my company. Out of all these things, since I use Canva and Adobe's free versions, I do pay for my websites, which are about $250 American a year. Or every year, or bi-yearly, I can't remember. And Buffer's $20 a month, Canadian, $15 a month American. So there you have it. That summarizes my growth that occurred in my first 3 months of launching my social media contents and platforms, and the technologies I've used to make it possible. As I said, I don't spend a lot of money, just $20 Canadian a month for my Buffer account. I pay annually for my GoDaddy websites. Other technologies I use iMovie on my Mac computer to edit all my video. I use QuickTime to film these, or I just use my iPhone to do my Q&A show and launch it directly right off my phone. It's all pretty basic. It's really convenient. It's helped me a lot. So what are some of the takeaways in all of this? So let's start with Instagram. I started like the Gary Vee thing, started commenting 90 times a day on different variations of sites, accounts that, support my niche. And I got my first few hundred followers this way, and then it kind of just started to plateau. Unless you have the time to literally go out and find brand new accounts every couple of weeks, continue to engage and continue to grow your audience. It works. It just takes a lot of time. It is definitely it's the cheapest way to do it, but it is the slowest way to do it. So this just wasn't working for me because I had LinkedIn that I was engaging into as well, and a newborn son at home. I just didn't have the time to truly do the 90 comments a day. So I offset my Instagram with Instagram ads. I used my own personal ads. I picked the countries I wanted to target. I leveraged my LinkedIn. As I said, I had a big following on LinkedIn in India. So I just, did targeted ads in India, targeting my age demographic, which is 18 to 35. And keywords like university, career development, and Instagram added it. Obviously some of my ads got 100 followers, but some of my ads got like 800 followers. So again, how I picked the Instagram graphics that I was going to put ads is the ones that just organically got a lot of engagement. So if, as I said, I was averaging about 20, and then I got to averaging about 50 likes. So then I would have say a graphic that had 80 or 90 likes, away from my 50 like norm. I chose that one to advertise. $30, $5 a day for 6 days. Hit my targeted audience. I don't spend a lot of money, maybe $30 a week on Instagram ads. Not a lot to grow. I'm coming in to hopefully 5,000 in the next couple week followers, just spending $30 a week. Again, you don't need to spend any money if you have the time to truly engage, comment, and build your following organically. That way it works. But the Instagram ads have worked for me. LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has an interesting algorithm. I can post one thing the same time Monday last week and do it Monday this week and have a completely different views, different likes, different engagements. Instagram's far more predictable, I find, given the times you post per day. LinkedIn, you got to stay on your toes. It changes constantly. You need to truly engage with other people's content to drive content to your page, or drive views in the audience to your page. That's why I needed to go with the Instagram ads, because I needed to spend way more time on my LinkedIn. So you want to grow your LinkedIn, find your audience, go comment on their content. They'll come in return, engage on your content. As soon as a larger follower, say somebody who has like 10, 20,000 followers, comments on yours, it goes into their feed, and then you have a better chance of getting their audience. That's how you grow LinkedIn. LinkedIn is extremely personal that way. I get tons of direct messages on LinkedIn. I've started to really make a presence on LinkedIn. I'm really enjoying engaging the audience. That's why I'm cutting back my content to 10 times a week, so I can make my content a little longer, more useful, and then truly engage. Like go, really look at the people who are liking my stuff, send direct, personalized emails thanking them, because at the end of the day, they make all of this possible. Those are the big takeaways. And also the last one I would say is collaborate. Find people to, write a post together with, and really branch out. The great thing about social media is it's not country bound. I have a huge audience in India. I talk to them almost every day. I have also a big following in the United States, and in Europe. So, all over the world. I've learned a lot about their culture and a lot about, what works in their environment might not work in, say the North American environment. I've learned a great deal personally myself. To end this video, I just want to really thank my audience for liking, for commenting, and for sharing my stuff. LinkedIn has this great little button where it just says share. The blogs that I've gotten, the little share, I had one blog 4 or 5 weeks ago, 7 reasons to leave your organization. I had over 22 shares. I had thousands of views, over 200 likes. It's my most successful blog and post on LinkedIn to this date, and that primarily became from sharing. So I want to really thank the audience for that. Also, if you're someone who wants to grow your audience or really wants to reach out and ask for help, share people's content, engage in their content. Don't just directly go and ask them for help. Well, you're not putting in an effort to help them grow their business. It's a two-way street. It's a give and take. So engage, do that. As someone who's just starting their business, it is greatly appreciated. Anyways, last but not least, thank you all for making this first 3 months a really engaging, growing journey. Love it. I can't wait to launch phase 2 of get my book finalized, so I can share it with the audience. So thank you all for your time. Again, if you have any questions, please just direct message me on my website, worklessons101.com, or any of my social medias. Thank you for watching and have a great day.